Well, hello there, friends. Welcome back to the channel. And as you can tell by the title, we're digging into a new playlist. This one is going to be on all of the missing or deceased scientists that's connected. And I feel like there is some answers in the order of disappearance or death. So we're going to do them one by one, and because each one is a puzzle piece of its own, and we're going to see where this takes us. So the very first scientist to go missing and then later deceased is Ning Li. She is from Huntsville, Alabama. She died on July the 27th of 2021 at 78 years old. Now, one thing I do want to mention is she is also from the same place as this Amy Eskeridge. So if you look, you can definitely see a lot of common similarities and connections, but it's the ones that are unhidden and unknown that we're searching for. All that being said, this is going to be kind of a long read because I couldn't really scale down the questions. I think I ended up having 12. Yeah, there's 12 here. 12 questions, but these are questions that I just felt like none of them could be eliminated. They all hold something, an answer or a semblance or something. So without further ado, we're reading on Dr. Ning Li. Now, first question I do want to ask, her true fate. Her groundbreaking work. I had to write these down. I'm just telling you, so many things were going through my head that I couldn't keep it all straight. Third question, key alliances and funding. I'll explain these questions more as we get into it here. The disappearance phase. The suppression of silencing. Was this an accident or an attack? Deliberate attack. Government and military or military involvement. The links to the other scientists. The broader pattern of connection between these scientists. What remains hidden? Dr. Ning Li's legacy and stolen knowledge. And how to approach this truth so we understand and get the truth. Whew! Big spread. Starting with question 1. Here we go. Hope you guys are ready, because I definitely am here. The first question is Dr. Ning's true fate. What actually happened to her? I'm talking like timeline, causes, final outcome, information that's definitely beyond public records. So what we have is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, it shows rest, retreat, recovery. It's like a period of enforced stillness and withdrawal, kind of like puts you in mind of the hermit. It's a withdrawal that aligns with a profound energetic shutdown, like just enough. Now this is, I think, in my mind, I feel like it is pretty much pointing to her public disappearance, and this has been in the early 2000s. It's a genuine withdrawal into private life. It also shows some decline in health too. I see a lot of decline in health, but it's not a dramatic induction or elimination. So there's no forces that be here. This was solely on her own behalf, her own volition at least. Now, the 2014 vehicle incident, it did cause some real severe trauma that led to permanent brain damage, and this permanent brain damage has also led to early onset Alzheimer's. So that's definitely one and the same. Now, spiritually, if you're looking at this card spiritually, it's an indicator that her soul has chose or accepted a phase of like deep rest and disconnection, and this being from specifically the intense mental demands of her work. Now, it's not a peaceful in the conventional sense. Lord, guys, I can't talk. Here we go. It means the truth does not want to be put out. We know how that goes. Again, it was not peaceful in the conventional sense, but more of a necessary hibernation. It shows no signs of no violent murder, signature, or just rather a tragic physical event. And all this being compounded by cumulative stress. Her groundbreaking work. Now, this is an aspect of the real nature and significance of her anti-gravity and, superconductivity research. Now, what we got for that is the Queen of Wands in the reversed position. Well, if I can pick it up here. In the reverse position, this points to a passionate, visionary woman. This is definitely her. It's a creative fire within her that's never diminished, blocked, turned inward, never ashamed of. Now, her research was genuinely innovative, and way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. It's tapping into real potential for. Let's see if I can. I'm not a very good explainer or teacher, but I am definitely a chemistry nut, which this stuff is a little bit beyond my scope of thinking. But the best way I can think of it is it's typing into like real potential for manipulating, I guess, gravitational fields, and putting that with the superconducting lattices. That's best way I can think of. Now, this being a reversal though, it shows internal or external forces. So here we go. What'd I say? Can't talk. Forces that's undermined, pushing boundaries. That would be your powers that be, your military and ahead, on up the ladder there, because it's a real significance that she had come to with a potential breakthrough in propulsion and anti-gravity, which I think this is going to be a common theme here. But it was burnout, that light burnout, because isolation, skepticism. Her work carried a real intensity that was difficult to sustain. She was more intelligent than what we could really perceive. Now, third question. The key alliances and funding, that says in who supported her. Was it the Department of Defense, NASA, private entities, who may be, and what they sought. Now, the card that I drew for that is going to be the Fool. A lot of cards in reverse position on the spread, and the reverse position. Okay. This indicates reckless starts, journeys that stall. It does show her support coming primarily from the U.S. Department of Defense and related entities like, Army contracts. I'm talking about through Redstone Arsenal. Interest from NASA. Yeah, it's about one and all here. It's alliances that were naive or overly optimistic on her part, but the funders approaching it with unrealistic expectations, and then pulling back when the results aren't immediate. It's not boom, 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 boom. They think it should go. Now, it was not a smooth path at all, but one more or less marked with misalignment. This is what led her stepping away. But I do not see any kind of massive private corporate cabal dominance. It's just feel more like a standard classified interest funding that pretty much left her exposed. It was just at the detriment of her. Fourth question. The disappearance phase. Now, what truly caused her withdrawal from public view in the early 2000s? Again, we have got us a reversal, Four of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Pentacles in reverse is letting go of control, breaking free from these rigid structures. Her withdrawal from public view was a combination of burnout, shifting priorities. Like, after funding cycles ended, it's stepping back from a high-pressure environment. Now, it was not a forced disappearance, but more of a release of a guarded posture she had to maintain. It's holding tight to her own vision, but still loosening that grip. Now, this sets the stage for her later vulnerability, but now it's partly necessitated by, just life circumstances. This reading is not going none of the way I thought it was going to be. I'm sure it's thought it was a conspiracy fact. So, here we go with the good ones. Suppression or silencing. Was there deliberate efforts to suppress her work or silence her? Now, again, a reversal. It's going to be the King of Wands in reverse. When the King of Wands is in reverse, it shows hasty actions like scattered energy, aggressive momentum. It's efforts that don't just work out, but it's not coordinated. Now, this suppression is more passive. It shows like funding is dried up without clear success because she didn't produce for them immediately like they wanted to. So there's just no strong signature of targeted assassination at this card at all. It is more of an impulsive decision of her own, pretty much resulting from burnout. Looks like a real burnout. Like I said, this was a very intense energy drive. Accident or attack. Now, this is going to be about the 2014 vehicle incident and like the Alzheimer's health decline. And what we've got for this is going to be the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is nostalgia being evoked, past connections, simple realities from earlier times. It's like looking back on past life and just everything was so much simpler then. Now, this card is not a conspiracy as far as somebody purposely running her over, because it really supports a genuine accident. It's a random, unfortunate event. I mean, just not a deliberate hit. Now, as far as the Alzheimer's, though, the trauma, the Alzheimer's that followed it, this just feels like a cruel twist of fate. It's just tied to past vulnerabilities, Her husband's heart attack added a lot of shock to that. It's a karmically neutral chapter. It's a karmically paid debt. Government or military involvement, and that's going to show whether or not hidden classified programs that she was working on, exploitation of her research, however that may go. Now, that is met with the Queen of Pentacles, again, in reverse. It's neglect of nurturing. Resources been withheld. Her work was definitely exploited. Her theoretical and experimental work, specifically the superconductors for potential gravity effects, absolutely. Support was non-consistent for her, though. The military pretty much took what was useful into black projects, but did not fully own or safeguard her personally. It's pretty much a use you till you dry up. Once you're done, you're just being deprioritized. Links to other scientists. Now, this is going to be director energetic connections. Pretty much like Amy Eskridge and the rest of them, and how this is going to connect together. And we have got the Page of Cups in reverse. That points to block tuition, disruptive creative messages. Now, this ain't strongly direct or conspiratorial. It's connections, more thematic and synchronicity. It's, overlapping interests in exotic science and being in the same location. It's no target list as of this reading. So I feel like this first reading might be a little bit more of a setup. It's not like something that just kind of got lumped in with it. The next question, we're looking at the broader pattern, and that's what overarches with forces or agendas And we have got the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a representation of material power, like established institutions, wealth, control over resources, defense contractors, military R&D priorities, national security. Now, the agenda center is maintaining strategic advantage. It's like scientists becoming the collateral in pursuit of dominance. Less of a shadowy cabal, and more like the code pragmatism of physics and aerospace. What remains hidden? When it says what remains hidden, I'm looking at the deepest unseen truths or classified info that's still unknown to the public. So what we've got for that is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is a signifier of long-term legacy, family wealth, inherited knowledge, completed cycles. It's deepest truths that involve how her foundational ideas were classified and put into long-term programs. So the elements of her work is still being used, and it's still hidden because they didn't want to give her the credit for it. Now, what's publicly unseen is the full extent of replication. It's carrying private truths. She took some of this information with her. She didn't give them all of it. She sure didn't. And good for her, too. Legacy and stolen knowledge. What we got here is Five of Wands. That is conflict, competition, clashing energies. This is her research being claimed by others. Rivalries in the field. It's theft. But it's no clean theft by one entity. Instead, it's a messy battleground of ideas. It's everybody stealing, taking a little bit of this part, a little bit of that from hers. Last question here. How to approach the truth so we understand this. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh, that's advising patience. The need to break repeating patterns. It's a card that tells you to approach with grounded skepticism toward grand conspiracies, but remaining open to institutional opportunism. That makes a lot of sense. Truth pretty much emerges through persistent factual digging rather than forcing some type of narrative or endless loops of speculation. That's telling you that acceptance is bringing clear versions. So, as of her story, now I know it's going to get on down the line. You know it's got to be. It's the overall feeling or the energy of this reading is Ning Li was one of brilliant innovations. You know, this has been compounded with earthly limitations. Earthly limitations is very interesting choice of words, because I just want to throw out there that people that are this higher intelligence like that, especially like, you know, I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk, but, you know, we'll give credit where it's due. These people that have this super high intelligence, I don't believe they're of this world. I'll just leave it at that. Alright, guys. If you ain't subscribed, what are you waiting on? We're going to be doing the best reads here. We're going to go through all of these scientists and pick the puzzle pieces up and put it together. We're going to figure it out ourselves. So, come on back. Turn your notifications on. Look for notifications, because very shortly, we're going to move on to the second scientist. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.